Mediterranean food has long been a favorite of mine, and I am assuming if you are here watching this video, it probably is a favorite of yours as well. I love the bright, fresh, and healthy flavors. Well, I am Amy from A Red Spatula, and I am excited to invite you onto this hummus making journey with me. Now, just remember, as always, if you have any comments, questions, anything like that, be sure to drop them down in the comment section. I will respond as quickly as I can. But what I want to teach you today is I want to teach you two different things. The first is how to make homemade hummus. If you have never attempted to make this, let me tell you, it's going to be a lot easier than what you might think. The second thing is I'm going to teach you how to turn this creamy hummus into a Mediterranean loaded hummus. This is a recipe your friends and your family are going to love. Now, if you love this recipe, of course, be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss any other recipes that are coming up. Okay, when I first started testing hummus, I had a couple of setbacks. The first is that I could not get my hummus creamy like I wanted and like I had seen. So probably the biggest factor that I found after 6 months of trying different recipes was I learned a process where you remove the skins from your cooked chickpeas. And that has been key for me. After I started doing that, and it is a little time consuming, I will tell you that, and I'm going to show you how to do this. It is a little time consuming, but well worth it for that perfect creamy hummus. Now, the second issue that I had was that, and don't shoot me, I'm a foodie. I know I should like all things, but I actually do not like tahini. And I was concerned when I first started making hummus of what it was going to taste like, what the texture was going to be like if I didn't add that tahini in. But it was a beautiful surprise when I found that I liked it even without the tahini. So this recipe is going to take both of those things. I'm going to show you how to peel the chickpeas, and I'm also going to show you that you can make a really delicious hummus without tahini in it. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so of course with hummus, we're going to start with our chickpeas or garbanzo beans. These are what they look like dried. They're very inexpensive. So you're just going to boil these with water. You want to make sure they stay covered with water the whole time. I always have to add a little bit more about halfway through the cooking time. And you boil these with just a little bit of salt. I'll put all this in the description, of course. And then once this is boiled for probably at least an hour, you want it to be tender but not really mushy. What you're going to do is you cool off the water. So I just dropped some ice cubes in here till it was cooled. And then you're going to start rubbing the chickpeas in your hand, just like I'm showing you here. When you do that, the skins are just kind of going to fall off basically. And then you skim the surface, pick those skins up and take them out of the water, and you're going to discard of those. This process is going to take a little while, so turn on a good movie, put on your book, something, because it probably does take at least 10 minutes to do this start to finish. Once these are all done, you're going to drain the chickpeas, you're going to get them into your food processor or your blender, then you're going to add the olive oil, a lot of lemon juice. I love a lot of lemon juice in here. A little bit of salt. And then, now once you start blending this, just know that it's going to take several minutes. This is not a 30-second thing. This is going to take a little while. And if you need to, I'm showing here, I added just a little bit more liquid into mine. You can do this with olive oil or you can do this with water. By doing this, you'll create this really, really creamy hummus. So removing the skin, making sure it's blended for a long time, and adding in more liquid as needed. And you can see this is the perfect consistency for hummus, at least for me. And sorry, my camera was not in focus there. Okay, and then once the hummus is done, of course, we'll start with the fun part, and that is adding your vegetables to the top of the hummus. Now, you can choose any vegetables you want for this. I just went with cucumbers and tomatoes because that's what my family likes. I also put feta on there, of course, and then Kalamata olives. Now, the only suggestion that I have here, well, I use cherry tomatoes, by the way, too. I like that kind of sweet flavor. And then you're going to spread out your hummus. And then when I do it, I kind of create these little ridges that will hold the olive oil that you're going to drizzle over the top. But my only suggestion is, of course, is that your stronger flavored foods use less of. So the Kalamata olives, the feta, you don't use nearly as much as you use of the cucumbers and the cherry tomatoes. That seems obvious, right? But you don't want those flavors to overpower everything. Once it's done, drizzle it with a little bit of olive oil. You can serve it with pita chips or just pitas. It is amazing, and you are going to love it, and so are your family and friends. Now, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you are here for the next recipe.